Hello everyone and welcome to this story time video. Yay! To be honest, I don't really have many stories to tell, and so this is probably not gonna be something I'm gonna do very often, but I've been doodling on my sketchbook and things in my past kind of inspired me a little bit, and I thought, you know what? Why not tell them? That could be fun. Also, just side information, my name on YouTube has changed to Sandrian Blue officially. My tag on Twitter is still the same, and my email addresses are still the same because yeah, I'm not in the mood to change that. I don't want you all to hop onto a completely different channel now. It's not worth it yet. What I am genuinely pissed about, however, is that DeviantArt won't let me change my name unless I'm a member. What the hell, DeviantArt? Anyways, so you might have read the title, and let me already tell you, it's not as bad as it sounds. It's really not. I'm kind of exaggerating it, and even looking back on it, it's probably not that much of a big deal. But, you know, I think about it once in a while, and, well, it kind of keeps me up at night sometimes. Moving my chair. Also, don't worry, I'm not gonna go on side tangents this time. I made a script, and I tend to get lazy when it comes to the length of scripts, so this is gonna be a bit more organized than usually, so let's get this printed. So, first things first, I already mentioned this in my last video, but just so that everyone is on the same page, I live in Switzerland, and the legal drinking age here is a little different. While you all in the great nation of baseball and Kentucky Fried Chicken have to wait until you're 21 to get wasted and not be called a minor, here we can go mayhem after our 18th birthday. Side tangent, because of all those American movies and stories with minors drinking, I believed for the longest time that America was less strict on that, but nope! No wonder you all get angsty. Just kidding, stay in school, kids. And a little bit to foreshadow some things, I had just turned 18 when this all happened. Now that all of that context has been dumped into this, let's go! Woo! Why did I write that in the script? What the hell? So, in my high school class, we had a yearly tradition of going on excursions to a different state in Switzerland. This isn't really difficult here, since in our case, the longest time you'd need to get from west to east of Switzerland is like 5 hours with the train. In our junior year, we went to the southern part of the country where the water was poisoned. Yep, maybe a few days before we departed for our trip, some truck with chemicals had an accident there and the entire water system was full with dangerous chemicals. Just our luck. I remember we had to buy like 50 gallons of water bottles to use for brushing our teeth, washing hands, and even to shower with. Okay, after like a day or so, our homeroom teacher confirmed that it wasn't harmful to the skin, we just couldn't drink from it. And you bet your ass my shower singing self would get poisoned instantly, so I kept myself away from the showers. That little side story aside, most of my classmates didn't really care about it because they were more focused on getting alcohol for the night. Now, just so we are clear here, if you want to get yourself wasted despite your age on a school trip, I am not going to be the person to stop you. I don't think you should do it, but as long as you take responsibility for it, you can accidentally get pregnant the next day for all I care. Well, okay, not like that, but you get the point. If one wants to drink, I won't stop you. Sure, I was annoyed and mostly confused. I mean, if you already want to get yourself knocked out, you could at least do it close to where you live in case something happens. I don't understand why you would do it in a completely new environment, but again, not my problem. You do you, man. Another thing I want to explain, since what I just said might have sounded a little bit heartless, I didn't have friends in high school. They didn't pick on me or purposely isolated me or anything that could be described as bullying. I didn't talk a lot, and the times I did, me and my class just didn't click. If my best friend was involved in all of this, or anyone I was genuinely close to, I would kind of object to it if they are a minor. My best friend, for example, went to Japan a few days ago and she went all by herself. If she was like 15 or so, I would have tried to maybe convince her to not go alone. But she's a grown-ass woman, so all I did was ask a bit about it and that's it. I'm not her mom, and I'm not the mom of my class, so it ain't my problem. Also, one of the girls, let's call her Megan. You'll hear of her more than enough if I do any more of these kinds of videos. She continuously told everyone to check their limit when drinking. So if someone was responsible for this, it was her, not me. Or at least that was my mindset until I had a conversation with her. On our first day, we were just taking a walk with gallons of water bottles and I was somewhere in the bunch minding my own business while they were talking about the alcohol again. The teacher was absent, by the way, he was just somewhere in the town. Suddenly, I saw Megan approach me and she asked me if I was 18. This question surprised me since I didn't think that they cared about any legal stuff. And in fact, I was one of the only 2 legal adults in my class. So I was one of the few who was allowed to actually drink and Megan was not one of them. So I tell her that I was 18 and then ask her why she needed to know that. Then fucking Megan says, "Oh, okay, it's just that if the cops catch us, they might hold you responsible." I laughed it off, joking with, "Oh, I mean, I'm gonna turn 18 this year." But in my mind, I just lost any indifference I felt towards all of this. I still didn't tell people to reconsider their plans, but I started to feel on edge after Megan said that. I couldn't stop thinking about if the cops would actually make me responsible for this, even though I wasn't planning on drinking with them. Later that night, we were at some random park when a majority of people started drinking the vodka that the other 18-year-old managed to get. I think it was lemon vodka or something. Shout out to everyone who has drank any of it. Unless you're a minor, please don't. Me and like 6 other kids refrained from drinking and just took the next bus to get to our motel. None of us were exactly peer pressured, or wait, no. They did do that after they started getting tipsy. Only one of us fell into it and stayed with the group with the vodka. Quick PSA, don't let anyone pressure you into drinking, taking drugs, or anything that makes your guts turn. I don't care if it's as stupid as forcing you to eat hot dogs. If you don't want to, you don't do it. If it isn't a positive change and it makes you uncomfortable, don't give in to it. Even when it is a positive change, it's you who decides if you do something or not. Not your friends, not the popular kids, no one. Anybody inspired yet? Good, now let's make a fool out of myself. Without getting into details of what happened that night, it was quite a mess. I tried to distract myself from the chaos by drawing a comic on my sketchbook, but yeah, I didn't get much sleep that night. If you think this story is about me hiding from the police or something like that, then you're wrong. But I wouldn't make this video if it was just about me complaining about drunk people, now wouldn't it? So I'm all nervous the next day of the teachers finding out and asking me the adult questions, but to my surprise, the teachers did not say a word, which was so weird and completely drove me insane of paranoia, cause there was absolutely no way the teachers didn't hear us yelling, singing, jumping into the pool and whatnot the previous night. The day goes by, we visit a bird zoo, which was cool, and I end up with 2 girls heading to the local mall near our motel. I thought at first that they were just gonna buy some more snacks or more water bottles since, call me naive, but after a night like that, I didn't think they'd want to get wasted 2 nights in a row. I might sound really stupid, I'm fully aware of that possibility, but I don't do this kind of stuff, so you gotta tell me. Is that normal? Do you all want to get drunk big time twice in the same week? I'm not judging, I'm genuinely curious if I'm just stupid or if that really was weird. I need to know. Anyway, after I noticed what they were gonna do, I started to panic thinking I might need to say something this time. But then I thought, no. I have nothing to do with this. Fuck what Megan says. As long as I don't do anything stupid, it's not my business. Yeah, you all can probably guess by now what I did. One of the two girls suddenly approached me and asked, "Hey, so you're the only one among us who's of age. Could you buy those bottles for us? You don't have to if you don't want to." I thought about it for a bit, and I want to emphasize this. They did not force me into it. They knew I wasn't gonna drink and would have been completely fine with me saying no. They would have gotten it some other way anyway. However, instead of thinking like a normal person with a brain, I let them call Megan. Megan came to the store, gave me her money, and I bought the vodka. Before I explain why I did that, I want to explain to you this beautiful, beautiful moment I will cherish in my heart forever. I went to the cashier, showed him my ID, and the guy behind the counter just looks at me in this way I can't possibly describe in words. So my hair is naturally a complete mess in general, but on that day in particular, my hair looked like a giant hairball. My eyes looked so tired from last night's bullshit, and my black hoodie that still has a few very bright stains. This guy, he just looks at me with this face of, "Yep, that chick's an alcoholic, alright." It felt like the perfect disguise. That night was something, I guess. Again, I won't go into any details, but there was this one moment in which another sober classmate asked me in a panic if he could hide some of the bottles in my luggage from someone so that they'd stop overdrinking themselves. It got that bad. Once again, the next morning I panicked even more than the previous night, but the teacher still didn't say anything. To this day, I am convinced that he knew exactly what we were doing and chose not to get involved. Not exactly a role model, but in all honesty, I really wished I had done the same. Now, you're probably asking in your head, "Sarah, I thought you didn't want to get involved. You didn't even drink it yourself. And you said one shouldn't get peer pressured, so why did you buy them the booze?" Well, here's the thing. Remember how I said I had just turned 18 when this all happened? The thing about reaching that age, you kinda want to really enjoy the fact that you're able to be a big boy and buy adult stuff yourself from now on. But the simple fact of the matter is, I don't like alcohol. 8.8 strong beer has been the only beer I kind of enjoyed so far, and in terms of strong alcohol, red wine is the only one my mouth can remotely tolerate. So in that moment, when the girls asked me to buy the bottles, the devil on my shoulder just whispered to me, "Hey, Sarah, this is it. This is going to be the first and only time you're ever gonna buy alcohol in your life. You will never buy it for yourself, so might as well do it now. You gotta take advantage of your new rights at some point, right?" So, to cut it short, I did it because I finally could. That's it. No peer pressure, no temptation on the vodka, just me doing something because I could. I don't think I need to tell you what the moral of the story is. It's like how the guy in Jurassic Park said, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. It's really dumb. I'm sorry the story didn't end with me going to jail or getting drunk myself and ending up in the hospital or whatever you were expecting from me. But I still think about this experience a lot because if you really think about it, that was my failed first responsibility as an adult. It could have been different if I didn't do anything in the end, but I chose as an adult to help them to get easier access to underage drinking. So yeah, not my proudest moment. What do you think? Was I responsible? Did Megan exaggerate? Is this all my fault, or is it someone else's fault? Or do you have your own stories of shame you could share? Comment down below. I'm not expecting anyone to tell me that I was in the right or that I did nothing wrong or any of that crap. I know what I did was stupid, and whether or not Megan was right for the first night, the second night was definitely on me. Not to mention how quickly I just simply forgot about my fear of getting caught. Like, brain, what are you doing? So that was my story of how I failed as an adult right after I turned 18. Tell me if you like these kinds of story time videos, if you would like me to have more. I hope you liked the illustration I did as well. Like and subscribe, I guess. And, well, see you next time.